Hey everyone, welcome. Today let's talk about the Jyeshtha Mula Gandanta. If you don't know what Gandanta means, do check out my previous video. There is a link provided in the description box. So let's begin. So the transition, or you can say the boundary between Jyeshtha and Mula Nakshatra is one of the most difficult zone in astrology. It's not just my view, but it was acknowledged by the great Prashra as well. But why this zone is so difficult and challenging? It's because it is the enemy line between Indra and Nirati. Indra is the ruling deity of Jyeshtha Nakshatra. He is the king among the Devatas. Niriti is the ruling deity of Mula Nakshatra. She belongs to the clan of Rakshasas. Devas and Rakshasas have always been into war with each other. They never got along well. So there is a constant war between them. The last 48 minutes of Jyeshtha and the initial 48 minutes of Mula is an intense war zone between Indra and Nirati. This war zone between Indra and Nirati is between the last 48 minutes of Scorpio, or you can say the last two Ghatika of Scorpio, to the first two Ghatika of Sagittarius, or you can say the first 48 minutes of Sagittarius Rashi. This is what the Prashara indicated. But based on my observation, based on the horoscopes I have seen till now, well, this war zone is extended. It's the last pada of Jyeshtha to the first pada of Mula Nakshatra. This is the most intense zone, very intense war zone. But what kind of war we are going through? Well, this war between Indra and Niriti is representing our inner battles. Battle with respect to certain insecurities, certain karma, and of course stagnation with respect to spiritual growth. It represents that our spiritual growth has been stagnated, our evolution has been stagnated because we are stuck to a certain situation. On a very soul level, it indicates you are unable to learn a certain lesson. And on an emotional level, it indicates you are undergoing stagnation. You are just sticking to one point, to one thought, and you cannot overcome from that. When you have a planet in the Jyeshtha Gandanta, the last few degrees of Scorpio, or precisely the last pada of Jyeshtha, you need to see which house is ruled by this planet. What does this planet represents in your life? Whether it's moon, the karaka of your emotions, your personality, whether it's sun, the indicator of your soul, father, whether it's Venus, which is defining your relationships. So you must know the qualities of the planet, and based on its lordship, what does it indicates in your life. Apart from that, do check out the placement of Mercury and Mars as well. They will also help you to know more about how this placement is going to work. Now, when a planet is placed in the last pada of Jyeshtha, this makes one too emotionally dependent on others. You will seek more comfort, respect, and importance from others, because this is something which you are looking for from a long time since your past cycles. This zone of Jyeshtha can be very overwhelming and difficult with respect to emotions. Well, these are the last degrees of Scorpio, the final door between death and rebirth. So it represents the state of mind. You cannot change a certain situation, you cannot move ahead. you do have a mindset which is stagnated. There are certain expectations in your mind which needs to be fulfilled, otherwise you refuse to move ahead. You might not have been treated well in this journey, and you are constantly looking out for respect. After all, it's the Jyeshtha Nakshatra, the eldest Nakshatra. So you do seek out respect, admiration, and this need to attain respect is maximum in these last few degrees of Jyeshtha. Well, who is the Nakshatra Lord for Jyeshtha Nakshatra? It's planet Mercury. And Mercury is all about thought process, processing the data which you have acquired from the world, how you have observed your surroundings and circumstances, and now how you are analyzing that inner truth and the outer truth together. So, with a planet in the last pada of Jyeshtha, it indicates it's difficult to accept a certain reality, a certain truth. You might know that this is true, this is a fact, but it's difficult to accept that and move ahead. So, this very last pada of Jyeshtha can give phobias, it can give fear about uncertainty, fear about certain people, revengeful tendencies as well. I'm not saying that you just want to create conflict everywhere, but you cannot stand any kind of injustice done to you. You do not like to be criticized or treated very badly. So, this really gives a lot of intense frustration within. The Mercury cannot accommodate to that, it cannot process that. So that's why your mind will be always stagnant to a certain point, a certain thought, which is creating frustration in your life. It's not making you unhappy, because you do have a lot of wisdom within your heart, within your mind. You know how much valuable you are. So, because of the criticism or not attaining the right opportunities, it's a very difficult placement to accept the truth and move ahead with your journey. So, it creates stagnation of mind to a certain thought. Because of that, you cannot use your potential, you are blocked. And along with that, it does give ups and downs with respect to your mood and emotions. So these two things are a perfect combination of self-destructive behavior, and this is something which you need to avoid in a great way. So having a planet here in the Jyeshtha Gandanta can give chronic health issues. It may lead to deep insecurities and phobia, especially a fear of undergoing disrespect from other people. It might give revengeful tendencies. And though you might not want to do this, but sometimes even a smallest issue can irritate you. Blowing things out of proportion is very common with this placement. But there are certain good things as well. Well, it makes you someone who is highly successful and well respected. Whenever you will rise in life, no one can beat you. Amazing success and great social status is indicated, and it will only happen once you stick to your goals. You accept the changes and move ahead. You can generate great wealth in your life, but definitely your family will be dependent on you for resources, for your support, and of course, a wonderful placement if you are in the field of occult or research. Now, when you have a planet in the Mula Gandanta, then firstly check out which house is ruled by this planet and in which house this placement is happening. After that, do check out the placement of Ketu and Jupiter as well. These placements will also help you to understand how this particular placement of a planet in Gandanta is working for you. So all of these things needs to be analyzed. Now, in Jyeshtha Gandanta, one was bothered, one was stagnant in life because of a certain thought process. This thought process was associated to the outer world, inability to process something, right? But now, here again in the Mula Gandanta, the mind is stagnant on something. But now it's not coming from the outer world, the external world, it's all about the inner struggles. When a planet is placed in a Mula Gandanta, the most toughest part is a feeling of emptiness or void within yourself. Like life is meaningless. What should I do to be more happy, to find more meaning in life? Because Mula is the home to a black hole. Every galaxy in the entire universe do have a black hole at the very center, in the same way we have Sagittarius A in the center of Milky Way galaxy, and this is the point of the Mula Nakshatra. What happens around a black hole? The speed of time reduces in a great way. So the time slows down. Whatever time you experience on Earth, it will be half around the Sagittarius A. And that is the reason why you always feel a void. And when a planet is in the first pada of Mula, this feeling of void is more and more intense. It's not the outer world, it's your inner world which is at fault. Because Ketu, I have talked about in the previous video, is collective unconscious. It's the qualities, the energies which you are carrying since many generations. So Mula is all about a bunch of tied roots, and you are carrying the burden of those roots on your shoulders, and you are feeling this in an intense manner. These roots, these energies are coming through the ancestors, coming through different generations, and how you have been influenced by the family ties. The biggest challenge with a planet placed in the Mula Gandanta is you tend to burden yourself unnecessarily. Even on a minute issue, you may worry a lot. And these trivial issues are not letting you to reach to your roots. You have to look within. You have to deal with your inner issues. And you are unable to reach to your core because there is already too much to deal with, too much of burden of very trivial matters sometimes. And of course, there's a great influence of your past journey, your past experiences as well. Now, the most positive point with a planet here in this zone is you do carry tremendous potential. The whole world can just fail in front of your strength. Once you decide to attain something, no one can stop you. Your strength can help you to deal with great challenges. You are capable of very intense dedication towards your goals. The negative part is lack of trust on others, difficulty to establish strong connections. Even if you are having a great bond with your friend or someone special, things might change very quickly. Health issues are definitely there, and you might start your life with very poor finances. It's not that you will be forever um, affected financially. It's just that yes, you may undergo a lot of financial issues in the younger age, and disappointment from family is indicated. They might not understand your plans, your ideas, your perception. So when you have a planet in the Mula Gandanta, this means you are born with a certain mental pattern, a certain pattern of emotions, thinking, perceptions. And this is not just your thinking, your mental pattern. This mental pattern is inherited through different generations, collectively from your family tree. And before even you could discover yourself, you are exposed to this pattern. So you have a purpose to dissolve that pattern and look into your own potential, reach to your core, because this baggage is not letting you to explore your truth, your potential, your core. So Niriti is the goddess of destruction, decay, dissolution, and she is here to help you to break and destroy these mental patterns which will prove to be self-destructive. They may not help you to achieve your goals. These things might not let you reach to your purpose, because when you have a planet in Gandanta, definitely you do have a karma to get rid of certain pattern. And here you must get rid of a certain mindset, a stagnated mindset which is not letting you to move ahead, and of course lack of trust on yourself. So when you have the white magic and the dark magic, and when there is dark magic, you will have this department, defense against the dark arts. And when you have this subject, you will also have a department of defense against the dark arts. And we do need a teacher over here, the head of department. And I think Niriti is the teacher of the defense against the dark arts. So this teacher is strict, this teacher is a bit scary, but she is here to help you destroy the self-destructive patterns. Then only you will be able to understand yourself. It will give you more clarity about life, about what you want and how you can achieve it, and moreover, spiritually, how to move ahead. So, what is the best remedy if you have a planet in the Jyeshtha Mula Gandanta? Well, according to Prashara, when a child is born with a certain planet or especially moon in the Gandanta point, this child should be isolated from the family for a certain period of time to a certain age. Like, I really don't support these ideas of isolation and abandonment. I think when a certain person, a child, is born with a planet in Gandanta in general, these people do need extra care. So as soon as this child is born, one must pay attention to his or her behavior. Certain behavior modifications should be done. You know, this child should learn about life skills. When we go to school, no one is educating about how to cook your own meal, how to keep your room clean, how to, manage your negative and overwhelming emotions, how to take care of yourself, how to just, change your bed sheet. So these are the basic skills of life which are required, and we must help these children to learn the basic life skills. I think this is the best remedy. And if you are an adult all grown up with a planet in Gandanta, then it's difficult, because no one will come to you and tell you, you eat this, this is healthy, do this is a good habit. When we are all grown up, our behavior is not corrected by other people. When you are a child, people will try to help you out, do this, do that, they will guide you. But when you are an adult, you have to guide yourself. So you should know your limits. This thing is self destructive. Maybe this activity, this thought process may not give me any gain. In fact, it makes me unhappy and I won't be able to do my work tomorrow. Whenever you're overthinking, just You have to see that after this great session of overthinking, will you be able to chase your goals tomorrow with great energy? No. If someone is toxic constantly, you should know your limits, when to detach from this person. So you have to be your own guide. And with spirituality, you can change everything. Spirituality doesn't mean that you should sit at one place, chant mantras, or worship this deity. Spirituality is just about learning about your soul, learning about your inner self, loving your inner self. Take out time for yourself every day. Do your favorite activity. Connect with the nature. That is what spirituality is. The more you follow a spiritual path, you will be able to attain more clarity, more self love in life as well. So, guys, that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.